I'll just bring in R.K. Upadhyay for a comment on, the BJP's own reputation. We've talked about share and numbers and things like that. Ultimately we will only know on June the 4th. But in terms of the BJP's own reputation, political reputation in Tamil Nadu, the headwinds that the party faces, an upper caste party and a Hindi-speaking party, outsiders, who will destroy federalism and destroy identity and nationalism in Tamil Nadu. Has the BJP managed in this political campaign, being fronted by the Prime Minister and Annamalai on the ground, has it succeeded in any way in your view? Or do you think it will succeed in some ways?
Shiv, I think, Tamil Nadu is one very, very interesting state because the pendulum swings wildly from one side to the other. As we have seen, from one election to the other, it's a complete change around. In 2014, Jayalalitha won 37 out of 39.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, ADMK just got one. Of course, Jayalalitha gone away. So ADMK, DMK was nothing in 2014, but then they swung back. So this time, if Stalin says he's going to win 40 seats, he's certainly not going to, because he's given 8 seats to the Congress party and a few other allies. So I would say that BJP has made a lot of ground in the last 5 years, and the onus is on Annamalai to deliver, because I think he was largely responsible breaking the alliance with the AIDMK. His point of view was that AIDMK is as corrupt as DMK, and we need to project Modi, who is a shining armor with somebody with a clean image and all that. So let's go with that. So they have taken the long road. I don't know the long road whether they'll help them in this election or the next election. But, it's a choice that they've made. And probably that is one reason why, as the previous speaker is saying, they may not win the seats. They may, increase the vote share, but that's not going to show up in the seats. So even if they win 1 or 2, that will be the maximum that they'll get. But, the point is, they were looking at 400 par. And unless it comes from the south, you have just 29 out of 130 seats. So unless you make it 55, 60, then 400 par is going to be very, very far. So that's one of the reasons why I think all of the efforts being made. And as you mentioned about the Hindi, Hindustani, that very much is there, and they're not going to get out of that.
Yeah, that's
the Tamilians are not going to accept BJP for its Hindi imposition kind of this thing, and especially Amit Shah, once in a while making this kind of a statement that Hindi is the Rashtra Bhasha, and that doesn't go well in the south at all.
No, absolutely.
I don't know why the Hindi issue. And every time he does that, I think the 2-3% of votes BJP.
No, that's a stubborn issue for sure. And having grown up in Tamil Nadu, I can tell you that it's an issue that people feel very, very strongly about, and perhaps even rightly so. Narayan, coming back to you, Dr. Raman, I'm coming to you. Narayan, the Prime Minister and the BJP have made corruption a big issue. Corrupt dynasts, the DMK, versus this, upright young IPS officer who hung up his uniform to take on the system and the state, which is a very compelling kind of narrative. And we've seen in the past in elections where sometimes narrative, charisma and things like that, kind of trump the realpolitik and the general way that things have happened over the many years. It's easy to be swayed by it from the outside, all these hundreds of kilometers away sitting in Delhi, and for others. But what is that narrative really like on the ground? Does it have any traction and resonance?
That's a tough one, Shiv, because on the one hand, I wish I didn't have to say this, but the state is very accustomed to corruption and on a grand scale, grand larceny. And it's not just the DMK or the ADMK. All parties have engaged in it. I think where it pinches the common man and woman, the citizen who's engaging with the government for whatever public services, that's the point at which it really hurts.
Right.
But I think, so long as, you could look at the previous era of Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi on either side, so long as welfare services were being provided, mass welfare schemes of different kinds, and that is why Tamil Nadu, in a way, pioneered this way of allocating resources. So long as that was happening, it was a policy of, let them do what they want.
Okay.
And I think what the BJP might be trying to do in projecting this cleaner image is that, look, we are presenting an alternative vision where we will tackle the corruption issue head on, and that is the way we deliver growth and efficiency and so forth. I think that is the narrative, and that is a change in the way of thinking for the Tamil people and the Tamil voters. The question is, will they go for that, or will they fall back to the same old model, which may be running out of steam as the Dravidian movement itself has changed so much in its values since the 1960s.
Well, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, there couldn't be a bigger, mission or an objective than displacing the Dravidian parties. Dr. Sumantraman, I have 30 seconds left on the show. Yes, quick word.
No,
and if I have some time, I'll give Rajat the last word.
Very, very quick point. The point that Mr. Upadhyay made, the AIADMK had no intention of breaking this alliance. Mr. Annamalai single-handedly broke it repeatedly, and I know for a fact the AIADMK was actually going out with slogans saying Modi for the center and EPS for the state. I mean, they couldn't have been clearer in their articulation. And this gentleman went out there and systematically demolished the alliance to the extent that they were forced out.
Okay.
Many of us said at that time that if they really wanted to break the alliance, the time to do it was probably at the end of this year or maybe in 25, a year before the assembly elections. But now that he's done it, I think that what you will see in hindsight, again, had the alliance continued, my gut feel, seeing the anti-incumbency against the DMK government, is they could have picked up easily 15 to 20 seats.
Which is the point that Rajat also made. Rajat, last word I'll give to you. 15 seconds. Rajat.
No, I agree. See, certain calculations are for a shorter horizon and certain calculations for longer horizon. I can only sort of fathom and understand that BJP has taken the choice for going for the longer horizon. But, you never know. The way ADMK has really reorganized itself, they might be the contender in 2026, looking at how DMK's key ministers, half of them are in jail. The other half are getting booted by the public. I see less hope on Stalin holding on to power. He himself is frail. He's weakening by the day. I think Stalin will be on his way out still too soon, but he has weakened considerably.
Well, if you needed a fascinating state to look closely at in 2024, well, look no further than Tamil Nadu. It's going to be a lot of fun tracking it. All of our biggest journalists are on the ground in Tamil Nadu.